I still haven't figured out where these recordings go, but I'll find them. So today, June 4th, 2015, we are going to cover some announcements, talk about some of the incentives and promotions that are going on currently. If you're not aware, June is Microsoft's fiscal year end, so you're going to see a lot of incentives, a lot of rebates, a lot of discounts that are going to happen this month because, of course, everybody's got a number to hit, and they want to hit that number this month if they haven't already. The CloudSolv ordering process, which is what I'm going to show you today, that is going to launch on June 11th. We did have some setbacks which kept it from launching the first of this month, and which also kept me from doing the demonstration last week. So thanks for joining today as opposed to last week. I did get a few emails from some people who did not get the cancellation notification or the move notification, so I apologize about that. Then we're going to just go over some resources, no actions today other than to be ready for the launch on June 11th for CSP, because all of these CSP orders will go through CloudSolv at that point. So if you've got any new ones, they'll go through there. And then at the end, I'll open it up for some questions. Again, you can put some questions in the chat box itself. So if anything comes up during the call, we do have some folks from our Microsoft team that can assist me with answering those questions, or we'll hit them at the end. So first and foremost, just a few announcements for you. The Enterprise E4 Suite is now available through CSP. That's the cloud solution provider. It's available through Open. It's available through the advisor model. It is now available through CSP. So this month is the first month that it was made available to CSP. You'll probably be hearing some announcements when WPC comes around in July about Microsoft's offering for voice services. That is going to be rolling out probably within the next 6 months. So be aware of that and be ready for it as well. So if you have some voice customers, they can start buying the E4 Suite along with voice services through Microsoft here in the near future. Office 365 open licenses, those are the one-year licenses through us. We've got some significant discounts on those this month. If you've generated a quote or looked at your pricing, you'll notice that it's just the lowest that it's been in some time. Now, of course, we can still look at deals on a one-off basis, so if the price that we have isn't where you need it to be, or isn't where your customer needs it to be, or if we're competing against another distributor, or you're competing against another reseller, we'll take a look at those orders or those quotes on a one-off basis. But the licenses discounts, we've got a different level for 1 to 200, and anything above 200, we've got another discount level as well. So, take a look at those, reach out to your team, and or just go through EC Express and check out the pricing there. CloudSolv 365 ordering, as I mentioned, will be available on June 11th, and that will be for Open and CSP. It will go across the multiple segments, so commercial, academic, and government. But of course, as you know, CSP only has commercial, so I'll show you what that looks like here in a little bit. We also launched a new Synex Microsoft website. It is now synex.com/Microsoft. So it's easy to find, easy to get to, and it's got all the information around the Synex Microsoft team, programs, incentives, promotions, contact information, resource links, all of that you can find at the synex.com/Microsoft website. So the first thing I want to go over is some of the Office 365 promotions that are in market right now. Office 365 Open and Advisor Growth Incentive. That has actually increased from 10 and 15% to 25%. So this is for your first-time net new customers for your sales numbers in the 4 to 24 range. So these are new customers. So 4 customers up to 24 new customers, you're going to get 25% back from Microsoft, and that's on top of the 13%, 12 to 13% rebate that you're already getting. So if you're in that category and you're selling Open or you're selling Advisor, if you're in between 4 and 24, or actually if you're in between 4 and higher, you're going to get the 25% rebate for this month on top of your 12 to 13% rebate. So it's going to be, what is that, 38%, 37, 38% for Open and Advisor purchases this month. The Azure Taste Test is something that Microsoft put in play a while back. It hasn't been widely known or used, but we have had some success here in the past couple of weeks with folks buying Windows Server Standard or Windows Server Data Center and then getting a $100 or $300 Azure credit through the Partner Incentive Experience tool. And I think that's what PI stands for, but I can't remember. They changed the acronym so much. But if you buy Windows Server Standard and you buy 1 unit of Azure, you're going to get reimbursed for that unit of Azure. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, you can reach out to our Azure BD, Jeff Varner, and he actually spells his name weird, so it's Jeff, V as in Victor, or V as in Varner, at Cinex.com. Now this is a new offer from BitTitan. They offer the Migration Wiz migration solution tool. So if you're familiar with BitTitan, then you know that they are a really good tool, and the Migration Wiz tool has been around for the longest. But it is on a first come first serve basis, and what it is you will receive free seats of the Migration Wiz Premium Mailbox Migration License for any deal that is between 50 and 149 seats. So that's going to run until June 15th. I know we're coming up to the end of that now. If you've worked with our Migration Wiz team, Betsy Johns, she's Betsy J at Cinex.com. She can give you some information around that. The Office 365 adoption offer, which is from Fast Track. So if you've got an opportunity that's above 150 seats and they've got Exchange Online, if you're a deployment partner, which means you've got a silver competency in the cloud productivity platform, cloud productivity suite, cloud productivity silver competency, they changed the names, but you'll receive $15 for each seat that is deployed using the Fast Track adoption offer. So 2 good offers right now to assist you with moving your customers to Exchange Online. And again, if you have any questions on the Migration Wiz offer, please contact Betsy Johns. She's Betsy J at Cinex.com. We also have a CRM promotion, Customer Resource Management Online promotion. So this is going across the Office 365 Business Premium, E3 or E4 Commercial Government are eligible to receive a discount on the CRM Online Professional licenses. It's around 33% off if you purchase it with one of those qualifying plans. So we do have it skewed up in the system. As you probably know, CRM Online is not yet available through CSP, so it is only available through Open 365, the 1-year licensing, but you can get up to 33% off the CRM Online license if you purchase the Business Premium, E3 or E4. All right. Now this is our CLOUDSolv portal. The CLOUDSolv is part of the EC Express, where you can go online and place orders, manage your contracts, manage your bills. You can do all of that through the CLOUDSolv portal. And this is just going to be a PowerPoint overview. I didn't want to go through it in a live environment, simply because it wouldn't go as smoothly because of latency issues and stuff like that. So didn't want it to bog down at any point because of internet connections or PC speed. So I just went ahead and built this out using screenshots. So this will actually be available to everybody. So and I'll tell you, it's literally screenshots of almost every single part. So it's a lot of slide decks, but it is very inclusive. So in order to get started, of course, you have to work with your inside sales rep. If you do not have a login to EC Express, your inside sales rep here at Cinex will get you set up. They'll get all of your users or all of your employees who need access to EC Express. They can get them set up with a login as well. So if you don't have access to EC Express, please reach out to your inside sales rep, and they'll get you set up with a login ID and password. It's just going to be your email address, but they'll be able to get that set up for you and get you familiarized with the product itself. So first things first is to sign in. The link is, or the URL is listed right here, so you can copy and paste that. Or if you are not in the presentation mode, you should be able to click on it. But this is where you get started, and then once you log in to your EC Express account, you'll be taken to the main page for EC Express. Now up on the top, you'll see a couple of different options. The CloudSolv tab is the one that we're going to be interested in for the CloudSolv purchases. So all you would do is you would select the CloudSolv tab up at the top, and it's going to take you to a page that looks like this with the different options. So you'll notice that there's Microsoft. That's going to be for your on-prem licensing. And then there's Cinex ESD for your electronic electronic delivered licenses like Office Home and Business, or I'm sorry, Office 365 Home Premium, and the stuff that is not available through CSP or volume licensing. But when you get to the CloudSolv portal, if you're interested in wanting to purchase Office 365, it's right there in the middle. So all you got to do is just select that, and then it's going to take you to the provisioning page, or the product order page. Now it's going to look similar to this. I kind of cut this screenshot out a little bit to give you an example of what it's going to look like if you sign in and you're not authorized for CSP, because with CSP you do have to be authorized through Synex, and that just requires us to have your Synex ID and your MPN, your Microsoft Partner Network ID. I believe most of the folks on this call are already authorized, but if you're not, just shoot an email to microsoftcsp@synex.com with your Synex ID and your Microsoft Partner Network ID. Now, your Synex ID, what we're going to use is we're going to use the ID that you use to pay for your services. So when you submit the email, give us your master account, but we also need to know which account number you want to use to pay these bills. So if you have a different account number for a credit card account, then that's the one we'll use if you want us to use it. If you have an account number for a specific terms account, then make sure that you let us know that this is the account number we want these orders to be placed with. Now this is the main page for the Office 365 CloudSolv portal. Up at the top we will have a video. The video hasn't been loaded yet because we have a few more days before this launches. But you'll see at the top that you'll be given a feature comparison of the 3 different Office 365 plans that are available: Open, Advisor, and CSP, and some of the things that are capable, and some of the feature sets and differences between the two. But the first thing you'll do is, of course, select your end user type. So whether it's commercial, academic, or government. Now if you select academic or government, the CSP option does disappear, so you won't have the ability to misplace an order. So select commercial, select yearly or open. If you leave yearly, then all of these will stay, so you can do academic or government through here as well for the 1-year licenses of Office 365. But for this purpose, we're going to show CSP. So once you select the monthly CSP option, all of the CSP available products will populate down on the bottom. Now the one that I was using here at the beginning did not have a reseller unit price. This is going to be specific to each reseller's account. Now right now we've got the across the board 16% discount. So if this price here does not reflect a 16% discount off MSRP, don't process the order, especially if it's this month. But don't process the order. Reach out to us so we can work with your sales rep to make sure that the grid price for you reflects 16% on these CSP purchases. But all you're going to do is you're just going to find the plan that you want to purchase, and you're going to put in the quantity on the right hand side here. You can do it from multiple line items. So if you need 3 of each of these, Azure Rights Management, Exchange Online, and Exchange Online Plan 2, then you can put the quantity in for each one. Once you do that, you're going to be given a total or a order summary down at the bottom of that page that I was just on, and it's going to give you an order summary, so it'll tell you your extended price and how much that is per month, and then you'll be given the ability to add that to cart. Now once you select add to cart, it's going to take you to the pay term page. So this is where you're going to enter the terms that you want to pay with. So it's going to be either your wire transfer account, your Discover account, American Express, your net terms account if you have one, or if you even wanted to do a wire transfer, you can. You just select which pay method you want to use directly from this screen, and then once you have done that, the next page you would actually create a new user. So if I go back here, right behind this, it tells you to create a new end user if you don't have one already. You'll have an option to pre-populate an end user if it's already existing, or to create a new end user. So right here you can see if it is new, then you would create a new one. If you already have an existing end user, or if you want to check and see if it's already existing, just click the Select End User button, and it will take you to a list of the end users that you already work with. Now for this one, we're going to select Create End User. It's going to take us to a separate page where you would select Create an End User again. Up here at the top, create a new end user, and then it's going to populate this page for you right here, this little pop-up. So it gives you the company name. This would be your end user's company name. The location name would just be a repeat. It would be the company name again, and then their address, their primary contact and email, and then once you're done with that, you just select Submit. Now the new end user that you create will show up in that end user list. So all you would need to do for that end user is just select them, highlight the circle, and then select end user and go to cart. So it's going to take you back to the cart. You'll see that your pay terms have been populated. The end user information has been populated. The only thing that you have to do now is input your reseller PO. Now the end user PO, you can do it if it's something that you need to keep up with internally, but most of the time it's going to be duplicates, so you can use reseller PO and then end user PO. You can even leave this one blank if you don't want to use or end user PO, but reseller PO is your PO to us. Once you input all that information, next step, continue checkout and preview contract. This is the contract, the preview contract for your end user. Now, if this is your first CSP order, you will be required to accept the CSP agreement. You can also have it emailed to anybody on your team that needs it to be emailed. So this is that terms and conditions agreement that we've sent out to most folks who are on CSP right now. But once you go through CLOUDSolv, the first time you do this, you will be required to check the box that I agree to the terms and conditions. You can download it from there. You can also email the PDF document from there as well. Now this page gives you an overview of your information and of course your end user's information. From here you'll see that, okay, here's the plan that we've selected, and here's the monthly billing. Here's my price. Here's the end user price. Of course, if it's going to be MSRP, you can change that yourself. This one is a $4 per month plan. Now you'll notice that it's a service provision. That is required. If you're purchasing Open or the one-year licensing of Office 365, this will say not required because there is no service provisioning for Open licensing for 365 through CLOUDSolv. There is only provisioning for CSP. So once we're done here, the SPA reference number, that's only if we give you a specific code, like if we run a promotion and we give you a discount code that you can put in here. It will actually take off certain percentages if we choose to do that in the future. So we will have codes in the future. If you're part of the Capture the Cloud program, maybe even part of that. If you're not part of the Capture the Cloud, make sure it's something that you sign up for. So if everything looks correct, next thing we do is create contract and submit PO. Looks like my little box got a little messed up there, but the next page is going to show you your PO number, and it's going to tell you the contract number. So the contract number is specific to that end user's 365 account. That you'll need to save for future reference. Your PO number, or the confirmation number, so that would be like the sales order number, is going to be in here as well. If you need to review anything, you can do it here. But for Office 365 CSP, we do need to provision the 365 account. Now, if you get to this page and something happens and you lose it, or you get sidetracked and you forget to do it, we do get an email of this portion here. So it tells us that a contract's been created, but the provisioning has not happened yet. So we can reach out to you and say, hey, did you lose your place, or did something happen? Just wanted to follow up on this order to see if you needed help provisioning the service. Once you're ready to provision the 365 account for the customer, select Next, and it's going to take you back to the contract page. Now you'll see here that on the contract page you'll have the contract ID for that end user, the date and time that it was created, and it's going to tell you to provision the 365 account here. So service provision status is for the 365 account itself, and it says action required. So that means it has not been provisioned yet. What you would do here is just select action required, and it's going to take you to this page here. So it's just a pop-up, and it asks for the end user information and the end user contact information. So this is the information that we would have asked from you for the manual order process of the CSP licenses. So this username, this can be admin, it can be Jeff R, it can be Jeff V, whatever it needs to be, but that's going to be the @ domain prefix, or the Jeff R @ domain.onmicrosoft.com. The domain prefix down here at the bottom, that is the default Office 365 domain for this customer. So if it's a brand new customer, then this would be very important, because this is how they're going to set up their 365 account. If for some reason the one that you put in here is taken, it will let you know, and it won't let you proceed any further. So once you click Next, it'll go back and say failed on the provisioning status. If it says failed, you'll be given the option to do it again, select a different domain. And once you select the domain that you're ready, all of this is required to select Next. and it's going to give you a provision information summary with all of the information for the end user, their contact information, the domain prefix. This one it's going to be Jeff Rigsby at csptest365.onmicrosoft.com. Quantity and the license product. Yes, all this looks good. Click Submit. Now you'll be taken back to the contract page, and the provisioning will be in progress, so it'll say service provisioning status provisioning. Now what happens here is you have to refresh the page, and it takes you back to the CLOUDSolv billing portal. So you'll have to click on Transaction Center and then Contract, and then you'll need to find the contract ID that was created for that end user. Your end user name will be here, your PO will be here, when it was entered, and when it was updated. Now this Transaction Center is very important because this is where you're going to manage all of your end user contracts for CSP. In the future, probably within the next month or two, you will have the ability to export all of these contracts for CSP directly from here. It'll most likely be right here on the top right hand side. Export all data. It'll pull a nice little Excel spreadsheet for you, give you all the contract IDs, and I'm not sure what other information they're looking to put in there, but it'll be the contract IDs, the end user information, what license they have, how many, so you'll have a good way to track all of this. But this is where you would actually go to update these contracts, add licenses, reduce license counts, add line items, so you can do all of that through the Transaction Center via the Contract tab on the left-hand side. Once you select the contract number that you want to go in and edit, it'll load up and it'll let you know whether or not the service has been provisioned. So you can see here that the service was activated, when it was provisioned, and the billing effective date. So anything that you create in the current month, the billing effective date will be the first of the next. Make sure that billing over here says monthly. Should not be a problem there. But you'll notice here that within this contract, below activated, there's an edit link. From here you can add quantity, you can reduce quantity, or you can cancel this subscription. Now if you need to add another license or another license type to a specific contract for an end user, then you would just select Add Service up here on the top right corner, and then use the SKU, the quantity, and pretty much the same thing happens again. You go through the provisioning process. It actually is going to provision those accounts directly into the Office 365 account for your customer. Now, once all of this has been completed, an email will be sent to the reseller and the end user with the information of the 365 account. So make sure that on the reseller you have your email address that you want to get copied on the end user information. So that's the login ID and the temporary password and all of that. So you'll get an email. The end user will get an email as well. And once you get that email with the login ID and password, then you can begin provisioning the Office 365, or I'm sorry, deploying the Office 365 service for that customer. Now, one thing to remember is don't forget to send the customer your delegated admin link through your Office 365 account so you can manage the customer account from your 365 partner portal. If you don't have your own 365 partner account, you can get one by signing up as an Action Pack partner through Microsoft or being Silver or Gold. If you are one of those three and you don't have your own internal Office 365 account, reach out to me. I'll make sure you get set up, or reach out to our Microsoft Cloud at Cenex.com, and we'll make sure and help you get set up with your own 365 account as a partner. Because the delegated admin rights give you the ability to administer your customer's account without having to log into their account directly, and it also allows you to create service requests through the partner portal itself. So you don't have to go through us to create a service request. You can just create one directly through your delegated admin portal. Now, a couple of resources here, just in case you want to know what the current partner customer offers that are available through Microsoft. You can go to the resource page here. There's a nice link for the customer offers. Office 365 also has a nice roadmap that's in place, so you can keep current on launched, rolling out, and in development updates. We're actually going to have a roadmap for our CloudSolv portal as well. That's going to be launching here in the next month or two. So we'll be able to keep you up to date on what we're doing on the CloudSolv side, specifically with CSP, because we want to be able to offer a complete solution to you and to your customers. So you'll be able to go through CSP and add deployment services, add migration services, all of that through one pane of glass. If you're interested in the 365 plan selector tool, I've actually linked that here as well. This helps your customers decide which Office 365 plan they want to go to. If you're looking for any type of marketing materials, Ready to Go Marketing is there. That's a good site for just documents, PowerPoints. If you want to go through some customer-facing information, you can get that directly from the Ready to Go Marketing site. CSP 24/7 support. Now we did launch this probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, but not a lot of folks are aware of it. So whenever a support issue comes across, people are just either calling me, calling Nicole, calling Lauren, or emailing Microsoft CSP at Cenex.com. If it's a support issue or if it's after business hours, the best way to get a hold of somebody on the CSP team is CSP Support US at Cenex.com, and we do have a phone number as well. Last night I had an issue where somebody needed or could not access the account that we had just provisioned for them, and they sent us an email at 11:15 at Microsoft CSP. I just happened to see it on my phone, so I was able to go in and change their password and get them up and going. But for future reference, if it's after business hours, which is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because we don't have anybody on the West Coast yet, I usually check my emails until about 7 or 8 at night, but CSP Support US at Cenex.com is going to be your best option for support after hours or support on a existing CSP customer. All right, that pretty much covers it. Wow, okay, 30 minutes, not too bad. But if there's any questions, I see a couple of folks typing right now, so I'm not going to unmute the phones because I don't know who's got their phone muted, and I just don't want to get overwhelmed by noise. But if you have a question, please put it in the chat box, and we'll address those now. If not, feel free to take off. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording as well. So thanks everybody for joining. Hopefully this did help. Remember, June 11th is the launch date for CLOUDSolv CSP Ordering. If something changes, I'll be sure to let you know. And Dennis, I'm going to email everybody that's on the webinar invite. I'm just going to send an email to everybody with the PowerPoint attached. Or did I say Dennis or David? I'm sorry.